Today in the channel Seeds of Faith. Have you ever felt like you're being prepared for something greater? Like your life has a deeper purpose, one that hasn't been fully revealed yet? Maybe you've faced trials that seem overwhelming, or moments where you've questioned if all the pain was worth it. Let me tell you this, you are not here by accident. You are chosen. But here's the truth. You can't step into the extraordinary without enduring the process. And that process comes with a cost. Today we're going to dive deep into what it means to be chosen by God, to walk in faith despite the struggles, and to trust in His promises. If you've been feeling lost, discouraged, or unsure, stay with me. This message is for you. Before we continue, I want to invite you to subscribe to the Seeds of Faith channel. Here we talk about purpose, faith, and God's promises for your life. Don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss any of our powerful messages. Let's grow in faith together. Let's begin with a profound truth from the Bible. Many are called, but few are chosen. Matthew 22:14. Being chosen isn't just a title. It's a divine responsibility. It means being set apart for something greater. But it also means walking a path filled with challenges, sacrifices, and spiritual battles. Take Abraham, for example. God called him to leave his homeland, his family, and everything he knew to go to a land God would show him. Genesis 12:1. Can you imagine the faith it took to obey that call? Abraham's obedience came at a great cost. He left behind comfort, familiarity, and security. But in return, God made him the father of nations. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. Genesis 12:2. Just like Abraham, God might be calling you to step out of your comfort zone. Maybe you've had to let go of relationships, careers, or lifestyles that no longer align with His purpose for your life. The sacrifices are real, and the weight of obedience can feel heavy. But remember this, every step of faith you take is seen by God. For God is not unjust to forget your work and the love you have shown for His name. Hebrews 6:10. Being chosen means standing on the front lines of spiritual warfare. As Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world." When you are chosen, you are marked for a divine purpose. And that makes you a target. The enemy will do everything in his power to derail you. Think of Joseph. He was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned. Genesis 37-50. Yet through it all, Joseph remained faithful to God. What seemed like endless suffering was actually God's preparation. In the end, Joseph was elevated to a position of power, not just for his benefit, but to save an entire nation. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Genesis 50:20. Maybe you're in a season of betrayal or hardship, and it feels like everything is against you. But hear this, the battles you face are not the end of your story. They are the preparation for the elevation God has planned for you. Hold on to the promise of Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. One of the hardest parts of being chosen is the loneliness that often comes with it. Elijah, one of the most powerful prophets of God, felt this deeply. After a great victory against the prophets of Baal, Elijah fled into the wilderness, feeling utterly alone and abandoned. 1 Kings 19. He cried out to God, believing he was the only one left who was faithful. Have you ever felt like Elijah? Like no one understands the weight of your calling? In those moments, it's easy to feel forgotten. But here's the truth, you're never alone. Psalm 34:18 reminds us, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." God often uses seasons of loneliness to draw us closer to Him. When the noise of the world fades, His voice becomes clearer. If you're feeling isolated, know that God is refining you, teaching you to trust Him fully, and preparing you for the next chapter of your journey. Let's talk about the refining fire. When God chooses you, He doesn't leave you as you are. He refines you, molds you, and prepares you for something greater. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. Malachi 3:3. The process is painful, but it's necessary. Look at Job. He lost everything, his wealth, his family, his health. Yet Job's faith never wavered. In the end, God restored him, giving him twice as much as he had before. Job 42:10. Job's suffering wasn't a punishment, it was preparation for greater blessings. If you're in a season of struggle, take heart. We also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope. Romans 5:3-4. God is using your trials to build something beautiful within you. The reward of being chosen is extraordinary. As Jesus said in Matthew 19:29, everyone who has left houses, or brothers or sisters, or father or mother or wife, or children or fields for my sake, will receive 100 times as much, and will inherit eternal life. Joseph's reward wasn't just personal vindication, it impacted generations. Job's restoration wasn't just double his possessions, it deepened his relationship with God. Abraham's faithfulness didn't just make him the father of a nation, it secured blessings for all of humanity. The reward isn't just material, it's the peace of knowing God is with you, the strength to endure trials, and the eternal joy of hearing him say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Matthew 25:23. Here's another crucial truth about being chosen. God's timing is perfect. One of the hardest parts of the journey is waiting. Waiting for the promise to be fulfilled, waiting for the reward to manifest. But remember this, God is never late. Think of David. He was anointed as king while he was still a shepherd boy, 1 Samuel 16:13. Yet, he didn't immediately ascend to the throne. Instead, he spent years facing battles, hiding from Saul, and enduring hardship. But David trusted in God's timing. He wrote in Psalm 27:14, "Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord." Waiting doesn't mean inactivity. It means trusting that God is working behind the scenes, aligning everything for the right moment. While you wait, God is refining you, strengthening your faith, and preparing you for what's to come. As Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." So if you're in a season of waiting, don't lose heart. Remember that God's promises are always worth the wait. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. Habakkuk 2:3. If this message has blessed you, take a moment to reflect. Don't forget to subscribe to the Seeds of Faith channel for more powerful messages. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and click on the next video that's appearing on your screen right now. Keep growing, keep believing, and remember, you are chosen. See you next time.